Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and today you're tuning into my video series called Way Out Wednesdays. The acronym is WOW. And on this video series, I endeavor, and I mean literally slide in at the last minute, to get a video out on Wednesdays. And I cover topics that may be way out there. You know, sometimes it's aliens and Sasquatch. Sometimes it's soul contracts. It could be anything. You never know. I have a whole playlist with a lot of really cool content that you can find if you click the circle that is my logo, go to my main YouTube page, and then look for playlist. Click that, then look for WOW. You may be wowed. And while you're here, take a moment and subscribe. Thank you so much. Now, today I want to talk about psychics. I want to talk about what maybe who knows what you know about psychics? Who knows what you know about really what happens in a psychic's life? I'm about to tell you because it's honestly hilarious. So listen, we're not, I think you guys think that because we're psychic, we have all the answers and we must live perfect lives. But if you do any sort of philosophical research or any sort of philosophical thinking, or even just pull some cards, you realize that every time you get a question answered, there's another question, and it's never ending. It's a never ending, hunt for information and never quite getting it. That's what it's like being a psychic. So I want to tell you a little bit behind the scenes story of what just happened recently when me and two other psychic friends decided we were going to go on a last minute trip. Maybe around the holidays, maybe around Christmas and New Year's, we have it off, let's go do something fun. Let's get out of town, right? So, we're so excited. The first thing we did was we had a Zoom meeting in which we shared screens and looked at locations and, oh my gosh, the Caribbean, and oh my gosh, this, and we spent hours, and there was no alcohol involved in this situation. However, we were high on the idea of getting out of the United States, having a completely different viewpoint, relaxing and just chilling out, right? We're all three single. We're all just going to chill out and just, do our thing, whatever. So here's what happens. The Zoom call, we're all in our ego. We're all in our ego and we're like, that's great. That's great. Oh my God, I love this. Yeah, you love this too. Great. I love this. We're bookmarking, we're saving, we're sharing. It was a virtual, amazing, what could possibly go wrong fest that went on for too long, to be honest with you. And because we were in our ego, what does that mean? It means that we weren't consulting our spirit guides. We weren't consulting any cards. We weren't consulting anything but our human need to get out of Dodge and go somewhere really cool and just sit, maybe on a tropical beach, and stare at it for 4 days and not have to do anything, right? What would we call that? A vacation. We call that a vacation, right? So, but here's what happened. That Zoom meeting went on and on and on. And one thing after another was falling through. Now, typically, if you do this kind of work, when things are falling through, you're like, uh-oh, that's a roadblock. Spirit is trying to say, slow down. You're going too fast. Or you missed your turn. It's back there. We're stopping you here so you can slow down. You can get your bearings and figure out where you took the wrong turn. Or you can't go this way anymore. You're going to have to go this way or this way. Okay. So we weren't paying attention to that. We were looking at, crystal blue water and beaches, and we were just so excited. And yet one after another, we got roadblocks. The flight would take 2 days to get there. Like, I don't even know what was happening. And my computer was doing all these things it never does. Like, I mean, honestly, I was astounded. The websites were broken. I mean, these are websites for major resorts or major, travel agencies, whatever. They were broken. The links were broken. I mean, honestly, we didn't even notice. We didn't notice. We just kept going. We'll make it work. I mean, one thing about being human is And this is a really good lesson for everybody, is that when you have these roadblocks, you don't go around them or climb over them like I do. Like, I'm like, well, we'll just go around this puppy, because I've lived my life like, I will put that round, peg in a square hole. I will do it. Watch me. So it took me a whole many decades to understand, Susan, maybe you shouldn't put that in there. I mean, maybe it doesn't go. You know what I mean? So here we are, we're going around, we're going over and under, and it took hours. And we were like, oh my God, it's so late at night. What are we doing? What are we doing? So we would say that and then go back, because we were intoxicated with the idea. Our ego was driving this bus, and our ego said, we're gonna do this. Nothing is gonna stop us, right? So here's 3 psychics, 3 really good psychics. These are people who are my personal psychics, and we're just totally doing the human thing. We're totally doing the human thing, and our guides are, for the love of God, trying to stop us from doing it, right? So what do? We go to bed the next morning, we start texting each other. Well, I don't think it's over yet. I think we can do this, right? I think this is the way to go. Whereas last night we were like, we couldn't find any dates. I mean, there were no dates. It didn't work. Like, again, square peg, round hole. The dates did not match all of our time off. This should have been like pretty evident to anybody, but we were so wrapped up in getting what we wanted, we weren't paying attention. So the next morning, the energy is starting to build again. We're all texting each other. I'm in my Virgo research mode, which means I can research anything. I mean, I should have been a private investigator. I can find, the main company's website doesn't say they have any, but I'll outsource it. I'll go look over here. I'll look at all these, literally these weird off the path sites that now I'm trusting. So then one of us says, oh, I don't know, I'm getting a weird feeling about, maybe we thought about a cruise, we thought about an Airbnb, we thought about a resort. Literally nothing was off the table. So one of us says, I'm getting a bad feeling about this cruise. I'm telling you guys, like, these dates for a cruise, we're talking breakout of illness, we're talking shipwreck. I'm like, we're not talking about your past life, we're talking about this life. He's like, I'm not talking about my past life, I'm talking about this life. I'm telling you guys, I really don't have a bad feeling about it. We're like, the other 2 of us are like, no, it's going to be fine. I'll get you some preservers, or I don't know what I'll do. I'll get you wings. It's, you can wear a mask. Again, what is happening? We're in our ego. We're on our ego. He's finally sobering up. He's finally saying, I don't know, man, this has got some bad energy. But we're like, no. We're like, okay, we finally told him, look, you go away. We'll plan it. We'll tell you when to be there. I swear to God, it's that bad, right? It's just that bad. So then I'm thinking, well, okay, this guy's really good. I mean, he is freaking amazing psychic. So I'm like, I better slow down. I better think about this, right? I'm going to think about this. So you guys might be asking, why haven't you asked your spirit guides? Because that's what I'm known for, talking to my spirit guides. I didn't want to know the answer. I didn't want to know the answer. Why would I ask my parents if I can skip out and stay past the curfew if I want to go do that? So again, in my opinion, my spirit guides a lot of times are like my parents. Like the other day, I got in a whole fight with them because I said, I'm going to donate this shirt. And then I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to keep it to next summer. And they said, you're not going to wear it in that tone. And I'm like, I'm not going to wear it. Oh man, I went straight into female, you're going to tell me, oh, it wasn't pretty. And I ended up telling that spirit guide, when's the last time you incarnated? Have you incarnated in the last 300 or 400 years? And you're going to tell me what to wear? Anyway, it wasn't pretty. So now you understand why I didn't ask them. I didn't want to know. I really didn't. Sometimes you just want to be human. You really do. You don't want to know everything all the time. If you guys wanted to know everything all the time, you would get readings every week, every month. But how many times is there something going on in your life and it's hanky, it's weird, it's off, something's off, but yet you're like, I don't want to know. I'm not getting a reading because I don't want to know. I mean, I've been there. I'm sure you've been there too. Sometimes you just don't want to know, right? So we're like man down, one psychic down, one psychic down. We're like, the other two of us are like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We have to. So now we're on our own, doing the research on our phones, texting. He's still in the mix, but we're still texting each other and that kind of thing. And I go outside to take my trash out. And this is what I find in the grass. I kid you not. If you know me, I get signs like this, not all the time, but when I need them, I get signs like this. Where does this come from? See, they still texting me. This is an ongoing situation. This is in the grass. So I videoed it because I take pictures of everything, because for no other reason, I have to prove it to myself, to be honest with you. If you don't write this stuff down, if you don't journal it or have a record of it, your brain will literally make you forget it. I know this because before I came to my senses and started doing this work full time, when I finally came out as a psychic, my friends were like, you were always like this. This is not a surprise. And it's always us that are the last to know, isn't it? It's always us that are the last to know. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, and then they told me like 15 stories where I predicted things or saw the ghost or got the weird sign that ended up being true. I mean, this whole time they've been seeing it, but I wasn't seeing it. And my brain was saying, that didn't happen. That didn't happen, because there was no frame of reference for it. Even though my friends were seeing me do these things, they didn't talk about it. They didn't say, hey, Susan, have you had any psychic experiences lately? They never talked about it. It was like weird, I guess. I don't know. But because they didn't mirror it back to me and make it real and give me a context for it being real and validate that it was real, my brain just said, that never happened. Like in Vegas, what happens in Vegas or New Orleans stays in Vegas and New Orleans. So I didn't know. So now when I get things like this, I record it because I'll still forget about it. So this is what I found in the grass. Now I'm taking my trash out, but it's not like anybody's trash is open. There's no trash. There's no trash anywhere. And it's in my grass. Now, something I should probably know by now, but when I get cards, there's always something on the back that makes a difference. This is the back. Caesar's Palace, Vegas, with a hole cut in the middle. I think they do that because it means that it's not in service anymore. So was this on a blackjack table? I don't know nothing about gambling. That's another thing. I'm not a gambler. So I go back in the kitchen and I send this photo and video to my compadres, my psychic compadres, and they're like, oh, shit. One of them's like, I don't know, gambling. It's bad. We're taking a gamble. And the other one's like, no, the 10 is a good number. It's completion. It's a master number. And this is like the 10 of swords or I don't know what. And at the same time, I'm making my breakfast and I'm making some eggs and I'm trying to decide. And I'm talking to my guides because my diet thing, I do talk to my guides. What should I eat? Should I eat this? Should I eat that? I don't always listen to them, but I try to be more interactive. And I was saying, I wonder if I should scramble these. I wonder if I should fry these. And I wonder if I should do this or do that. And they said, it doesn't matter. And I was like, okay, doesn't matter. So, I just threw them in the skillet. So then they said, and it doesn't matter. And I'm like, I heard you the first time. And they're like, there is clarity and simplicity. And I'm thinking they're talking about the eggs. So I'm like thinking, damn, I know. I didn't put nothing in these eggs. I didn't put no cheese on these eggs, y'all. I didn't put no avocado. I mean, come on. We talking eggs in a skillet. I'm like, that's about as simple as it gets. I did put some salt and pepper on it, but I ain't going to not get salt and pepper. Y'all are going to have to back off. If salt, I'm like going, if salt and pepper is the line, going off. They're like, when they get their head out of their hands, they're like, there is clarity and simplicity. And then I realize they're talking about this trip. So, like, Oh, you're talking about the trip and not the eggs? I thought you were talking about the eggs. Okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah. And then while I'm doing that, one of our compadres texts and says, energy's gone bad. Dealing with psychics. Oh, energy's gone bad. Energy, all the cards are bad. Energy's gone bad. I'm tabling it. I'm like, so now the energy has gone bad. And I'm like, okay, well, I text her back. There is clarity in simplicity. So they're like, yeah, that's what the 10 of Swords means. Is that what that means? I don't know, because this is spades, or spades, swords is the 10. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Our psychic down is down. Now he comes back and he's like, I told you that cruise was bad. We're talking illness. I'm like, oh, for the love of God. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. Well, we're tabling it because the energy is bad. Okay. The energy is bad. We're going to table this. But I'm telling you right now, because why? Because my ego is talking that I'm going somewhere. If I have to get in a kayak and just paddle out, if I have to get on a bike, whatever alternate mode of transportation I have to take, I'm going somewhere. So I would just tell the spirit guides, please help me. So I said, okay, yes, I think what's happened here, because now the spirit guides joined the conversation, like finally they've entered the building and they're like, there's too much pressure on the subject. You three have put too much pressure on the subject, meaning too much energy has been applied to this unyielding force. What is the unyielding force? The dates. That's unyielding. The price. That's unyielding. Like maybe we had 10 things we wanted, but there were 3 things that were non-negotiable. So this was the problem. We couldn't get the dates to work. We couldn't get these things that were non-negotiable to work. So the guides said, you're putting too much pressure on non-yielding, unyielding things. And I think I wrote them back and I said, the guides said that they sent us to our rooms. We've been sent to our rooms. We're asking too many questions and we're not listening to the answers. So now we've been sent to our rooms. We each are going to go to our separate rooms. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to give this space. We're going to give this space so the energy can calm down. And once the energy calms down, meaning I'm not pushing, they're not pushing, or wishing or hoping, or let's just call it what it is. Desperation, cold-blooded desperation. Once the cold-blooded desperation drops, spirit can waltz in. When you're laying on your bed pouting like a teenager, if you had good parents or somebody, they might come in and pat you on the back and say, it's okay, honey. It's okay. Look, I found this. And you're going to be like, I don't want to go there. I wanted to go to this other. Wait, let me see. What is this? And then, everything is going to work out fine. And I'll do a video from there when we get there, because I'm telling you, something is going to work out. But we needed to get our ego out of the way. And that is why, my dears, psychics are not going to take over the world because we are human. We're truly fallible human beings that are living in a 3D human world, albeit with some extra spicy abilities to know that, that's going to be Norwalk. You're going to have a disease outbreak on that boat. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. We have extra knowledge, but it doesn't make it any easier because, we avoided that because at that time, his guides called and he answered the phone. But what about the times when your guides call and you're like, I don't want to talk right now. I'm doing something. You guys have seen me do that on a video. I've said, I'm in the middle of something. Excuse me. The guides are trying to talk to me because they already preloaded the information So I'm basically teleprompter in my head, talking to you guys about what I see. And then some other guy that I don't even know who that is comes in and wants to add to it. I'm like, I can't do that. That is above my pay grade. I have got a teleprompter. And now you trying to, that is multitasking. Psychic multitasking cannot do. So yes, it's when you're in the flow of the energy, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's effortless. This is a cautionary tale of how if we had gotten on our Zoom call and we had all said, oh my God, that's the place. And then we went to look at the details and it checked our non-negotiables. And then we went to our airports and found flights that didn't cost a kidney to said place. That would have been open door, open door, open door, open door, click, book. Instead, we got closed door, check the window. We tried the window. We tried to scurry down the chimney. Wasn't letting us in. It's like, no. But no, we would not be daunted. We would not be stopped. We had to get it. We had to do it. So in your own life, when you're seeing no roadblock, even little bitty things, even little snags, that's data, you guys. That's information. Pay attention to it. You know, when I did this event in Chicago, it was like green light, green light, green light, green light. Even though me personally, I might have liked to do something different. I literally just followed whatever they said. Whatever. I literally followed whatever they said for once. And the whole thing without a hitch. And we started it on Friday the 13th. The Saturday was a major eclipse that blew people's brains out. And we ended it by doing a shamanistic, huge thing with over 100 people where we opened up a portal to our higher. I'm telling you, who would do that on an eclipse weekend? Even my astrologer was like, I don't know. But she looked at my chart. She's like, oh no, this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. But it was also because I said, lead me and I will follow. See the difference? Here, we're saying, look at that water, look at that beach. And we're saying, we'll lead, you follow to the guides. When you tell the guides to follow you, you know what they do? They go sit over there and they eat donuts so I can see them eat donuts because I cannot eat donuts. They're like, well, just wait. But to get my attention, they got to do something, right? So I'm like, is that a donut? So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this helps you in your own life. You can understand how 3 really good psychics couldn't psychic their way out of a wet paper bag. No, it's not over because we've tabled the energy. I think so. My phone is still beeping. But only time will tell. I'll let you guys know if I do a video from some amazing place over the holiday between Christmas and New Year's or somewhere around there somehow. Well, we let it go. That we let our spirit guides guide us. We became part of the flow of the energy instead of trying to dam it, divert it, change it, drown in it, make it bend to our will. That's the problem. So in your life where you have situations where you're just saying, this is going to go my way. Well, good luck with that, because it'd be a lot easier if you allowed your spirit guides to help you figure out the best way to go. Now you can do that with cards. I mean, look, you could do that with cards. I didn't ask for this sign. I didn't ask for any signs. This, you know what this is? This is a life preserver. They're like, my God, Susan's going to do something crazy and it's going to affect us And I wanted to take my spirit guide vacation, but instead I'm going to be trying to get her out of some Mexican jail. And no, she's not messing up my spirit guide vacation. I'm going to throw her a life preserver. Wing, there it is in the yard. She'll find it because she's about to take the trash out. That's how it works, folks. It wasn't near the trash, but it was on my way to the trash. So ask for signs. Is this the right decision? Send me a sign. And then you got to figure out, is this a gamble? And you know what else you have to figure out? Am I betting on myself and my happiness? What if some of y'all look at this and say, Susan's going to win the lottery. Susan's going to win a windfall. This is a windfall. This is 10. It's a windfall. And some of y'all are going to look at this and go, it's a 10 windfall. Gambling. She's going to lose everything. Glass half full, glass half empty. You decide. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning into this Way Out Wednesday. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. You never know what you're going to find on my channel, and that is really true. And don't worry, you do not know these psychics because, well, their identity is protected, and it is not Linda G. Linda G is a grown-ass woman, and she would never be caught up in something like this. And it's nobody that you know. Don't worry. I don't want to, throw any psychics under the bus, but maybe you'll see a video, maybe you won't. What happens wherever we are might have to happen, stay wherever we are, unless I need Mexican jail bond money, in which case you'll see me right here on this screen asking for something. Take really good care, everybody. Talk to you soon. Have a great Thanksgiving, a great Native Peoples Day, just a great eating day, a great nature day. Own it. Make it yours. Glass half full. Take really good care.